everybody, we're going to be talking about Elasticsearch search templates today. They're really useful and I definitely think you should look at using them. We're going to be using the Swagger for ES page again, as we have on these other videos, so you can get there from the Swarmy website. Basically you click this button, you type in your Elasticsearch cluster name. So I've got some instructions about how to set up a free one at Bonsai or on the Elastic Cloud. So we just go straight there, and then you put in your credentials, which you'll get when you log on to those websites. Then you can just confirm that you've got connectivity between this Swagger page here and your cluster. You do. So I've just gone to the cluster health endpoint, submitted this request there, and it's come back saying everything green. There's some indexes created. It's all looking good. So yeah, so the key endpoints that we're going to be looking at today are the search template endpoints. So basically this is the main one where you'll be creating your search templates. And so what are search templates? So search templates are basically a templating language that Elastic supports based off this mustache templating language. And you can sort of see what it looks like here. You can have some like defaults. You specify values with these double curly white braces. So why would that be useful? I guess the key part is that it just gives you separation from the front end and the back end. So you can tell the front end that they need to submit a really simple request and specify a search template. When that search template comes to Elasticsearch, it populates a complex template that you've stored within the cluster state within Elasticsearch, and you can sort of change when you need to without having to break the interface with the front end. So that sounds, I guess, you need to think, do you need that level of abstraction? But yeah, when you look at some of the more complicated searches that you can support within Elasticsearch, so here's one example, you'll see that the searches get very complex very quickly and very large, and you don't want front-end applications having to make tweaks every time you want to change your search. So by having a search template, you've got that obfuscation, that facade around your search requests. And so so when you think about like custom scoring, adding different types of aggregations, the size of those aggregations, fuzzy matching, geolocation searching, those kinds of things, you can think you get a very complex search request. And so by allowing the front end just to submit the parameters and the search request ID, search template ID, then basically it obfuscates that away. So basically this is the way to submit a search request. So this is a complex one, as I said. We do a number of shoulds within a Boolean query and pass in the name, which is the search parameter, and the size. So you just sort of submit that into the cluster to these underscore scripts template endpoint, and you'll get a true back. So that's how we create a search template, and then retrieving a search template, we just hit the underscore scripts and the search template name, which is country search template, and you get your script back. So you'll notice though, it does actually store the script as a string with escapes for all of the double quotes, which is not really easy to change and not really easy to read. So highly recommend basically storing the original put request and then tweaking that and just replacing it within the Elasticsearch cluster, getting the one that you've saved in previously and removing all the special the escapes on the double quotes is annoying and frustrating. So try to avoid that at all costs. So that showed us how to sort of create, get, and delete search templates. But obviously you want to be able to build up your search template. That's where this render template endpoint comes in. So you'll see here it supports sort of two ways of use. So one way is that you provide the query and the parameters in line, which is what we've done just here. So here's the query and then the parameters, and it'll show you this is the query template and the parameters, and you'll see that this is the query that will get executed. So it's put in 4 for the size, and the name it's replaced with Afghanistan, and that's the query that will get executed within Elasticsearch. And got another example here of doing that in line. So this query is a bit more complicated. So it has a size and Republic of Afghanistan as the search terms. So that's sort of the first way, where you've supplied the query template as well as the parameters. The alternative is that you render a template that's saved already within the cluster state, and you specify the ID and you provide the required parameters. So this is what a request from the front end would look like. That's how their request would have to be formatted. Basically the parameters and the template that they want to run. So if you run that, we'll see that it does actually generate the more complicated query in the back end, which will be executed and the results returned. So that's really sort of hiding that complexity around the Elasticsearch queries from the front end. So that's rendering the template. So you want to get the query back so you can look at the query that's being generated and make some changes possibly, and then change the template again, and then tweak and tweak and tweak. So that's the render template endpoint. When you're ready to actually start executing the queries, that's where we need to specify the index and that we want to run the query against. In this example, we want to run against the country index, and basically get the results. So you can supply query template inline and parameters, but that's sort of quite redundant. So if you're going to provide that, then you may as well have just written the query. But obviously that is supported, and you will get results back. So identifying Afghanistan as a hit. But most likely the way that you'll use that is that you'll be running a previously saved query template and just providing the parameters. So you execute, and you'll get the results back as Afghanistan. So that's done those two steps. So it's gone and found the query, gone and found the query template, populated the query, and then executed the query, and then given you the results. So I hope that's provided some understanding of why query templates are really useful. And good luck using them. Have any questions, let me know below. Cheers, bye.